Welcome everyone to the NR2003 Season 5 Championship Mode Sprint Unlimited here at Daytona International Speedway. Last season's race won by Jeff Gordon. This will be the first one without him here as we enter into an all-new season with the 2016 Cup Series cars and roster. We'll get set for a great season tonight with this non-points race here at Daytona.
Let's get down the pit for your starting lineup for tonight's All-Star race here at Daytona.
Kyle Busch will start on the pole for tonight. He won the championship last season out at Homestead, Miami, looking to continue his momentum. No, this isn't a points race, but you know he'd love to get some momentum and win here tonight. And alongside him, Kevin Harvick, maybe looking to get one over on Kyle Busch. Lost that championship at Homestead. Going to be starting up front tonight.
And then you have there in third place, Joey Logano, probably the second most dominant driver of last season. Fell all apart right at the end due to, I believe, an engine failure late in the race. And alongside him, the driver that deserved the championship the most, Dale Earnhardt Jr. In this series, although he won the first title, has not been really kind to him. So many heartbreaks. Let's see how he's going to start off the season tonight here at Daytona.
And then in row number 3, we have Jimmy Johnson looking for a rebound after a disappointing round of 12 exit. Once again, no, it's a non-points race, but he'd love to kind of rebound, get some confidence back going for that 48 team. And then alongside Johnson, Penske driver Brad Keselowski. We know how great he is at the super speedways. I expect to see him up front throughout the night.
You have there the 41 Kurt Busch, another heartbreaking season once again. Going to hopefully get this one with more wins. And you have the 19 Carl. It was a very disappointing season. Joe Gibbs Racing last year actually had less wins than he did in season 3 with Roush. Let's see how this season will play out here.
And we have to round out our top 10, Matt Kenseth, another driver who's looking for a good start to the season. The super speedways usually aren't too kind to him. And then on his outside, Martin Truex Jr., a team that had massive improvements, showed lots of speed last time around, made it all the way to the round of 8. But this season, they're trying out a move to Toyota. Tonight's their first race with that manufacturer. You know, they're going to probably use tonight's as a non-points race to just kind of get familiar with TRD and everything that they have to offer.
All right, folks, let's get ready for tonight's starting command here in the Sprint Unlimited.
Drivers, start your engines.
Crank it up. Sandy, how are you? You're right up there? Where are you at? Yes, sir.
See that blue pace car right in front of Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. Anything you'd like to add before we take the green flag here at Daytona?
Well, we know this is going to be chaotic with it being a non-points race, smaller field. Should be very interesting here. Mentioned it a little bit with Martin Truex Jr., but since this is a non-points race, we expect to see a lot of the teams just try to get familiar with their, any sort of crew changes, team changes, manufacturer changes. They're going to use this race tonight as a bit of a testing session, but that doesn't mean we won't see these drivers race hard for a win. A win at Daytona means a lot to everyone in this field, so don't expect them to go easy on each other.
One more thing before we go green, we have a scheduled caution at lap 10. This will be a staple for every single event here at Daytona, at the Clash, you name it, other than the 500 and any other race, only for this one. Anyways, here we go. Pace car getting ready to dive down on a pit road. Fans are on their feet getting ready to start off season 5. And here we go, folks. Flagman getting ready. And we're racing at Daytona. Already 3 wide action. Kurt Busch and Casey Kane not wasting any time. Diving it down to the bottom lane. see how that momentum is going to be on the bottom lane. You see them squeezing each other on the outside, trying to get side off as Stenhouse put them in the wall there in the back.
You see the field fan out down the back straightaway. Pole sitter Kyle Busch pulls ahead, clear for the lead, jumps up to cover the outside lane as Harvick gets a push from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now we see Kurt Busch moving up 3 wide, doesn't quite have much help. Still needs Allmendinger to get there as now Matt Kenseth looks to the inside lane.
It's going to be, he's actually thinking 50-50. Kyle Busch leads lap 1. Joe Logano there in second. Another thing drivers also talk about is the engine temps when they go on the bottom. Kurt Busch now going to jump up. He's probably going to wait until some more company gets on the bottom lane. As I say that, AJ Allmendinger, Tony Stewart, Jay McMurray, Greg Biffle moving their way on the bottom.
Something to talk about. We've had some engine scares this week. As you know, everybody gets packed up, stuck in the middle. Some teams have gone a little bit aggressive tonight, testing something out for the 500. So we'll see what happens further into the night as AJ Allmendinger
look at how
leading
fast
the charge. He's leading the charge on that inside lane. Got 2 Chevys behind him and Tony Stewart and Jamie McMurray. A little bit of a gap back though as Joey Logano is going to take the lead from Kyle Busch.
Not for long.
These guys know we have that segment caution at lap 10. So these guys are trying to get as much track position as possible before time runs out.
Another thing I'm actually starting to notice in this series, if you have a fast car behind you, like a Stewart Haas car, Hendrick car, and you're on the outside, look at Kevin Harvick pulling away from the 88. Look at the air push he's giving to the 18. Just pulled away there.
They got a run off of turn 2. We're able to get going, but that's not going to help him in the corners because they don't have much help. As now AJ Allmendinger
jumping up.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger is going to get in the middle lane here, block Joey Logano, and that's going to allow Tony Stewart to take a shot at the race lead with the push from Jamie McMurray.
Jake Biffle, they're going to jump in the middle lane, going to block Kurt Busch. Tony Stewart and Jamie McMurray stated they don't want to go too crazy going for the lead here, since they could just fall to the back quickly. See there, Kyle Busch slowly falling back. Tony Stewart clears all 3 lanes, not going to block any of them. Tried blocking AJ, but got a teeny bit of side draft there from the 47. Going to help him back up into the 1. Bottom lane only has 6 cars, and they're the fastest lane on the racetrack already. Here comes McMurray. One more thing I'd like to mention, it is pretty much confirmed that this will be Tony Stewart's last season. He's not won a race in this series other than the Season 4 All-Star race. Hope he can finally get that win, one final win here. His 49th career win, if he's specific. Have to wait and see what track that'll be, though, if he's lucky enough.
How special would it be for it to be the Daytona 500? That's, you know, it's one of the crown jewels that has eluded him. He's won just about everything else to win here at Daytona. He's won the July race. He's won Xfinity season openers. Been fast in the shootouts, the duels. But the 500 is something he has never been able to win. You know, a good run tonight would mean a lot for him going into the big race, big Daytona 500.
He got close to winning the Southern 500 last season. And one more thing, off topic, Casey Mears now leads the pack, and he's actually been flying right now. Hearing on the radio, he might actually start working with the 1 car because those 2 paired up, as you can see, the middle lane and bottom lane cannot. Just look at this. They're going to pull away on the straightaway. Look at that speed.
It's interesting because McMurray, Mears, you know, by qualifying grid order when it was set, he was at the back of the field.
25th.
And we're just halfway through this initial segment, and he's already leading the race and is doing a pretty good job at holding off Danica Patrick and Eric Almirola.
As stated, if you want to move up through the field, you need a fast car behind you. Eric Almirola has the 41 of Kurt Busch, one of the fastest in the field, and he's not moving up. I remember the July race with Penn. Eric Almirola was also leading the bottom lane, but it was not going anywhere. And how is that, Penn?
Well, what we're seeing now as we approach the end of this this segment, everybody's pushing a little bit harder. Also, as the pack gets more momentum and the outside lane kind of gets formed up, as you see, there's a lot of cars up there, a lot of fast cars, the 4, the 18, the 88. They're all stacked up on that outside, and they're just more organized. And when you run that outside lane, especially here at Daytona at night, you get to conserve more momentum. You don't lose as much ground. You don't have quite as much of that side draft on you, slowing you down. Get next to that wall, it reduces some of the wind resistance. So the outside lane can just kind of build up momentum and keep it a lot better than the guys in the middle and the bottom lane. If these guys on the inside want to make a move, they're going to really have to get organized. They're going to have to side draft extremely hard. But with how hard McMurray is pushing, McMurray's going to go for it. That's really going to shake things up there, because now Mears does not have McMurray pushing him.
I actually was listening to Mears' radio. Mears said McMurray can make a move if he wants. So this is the 500. He say stay behind him. McMurray said on the radio he was also getting hot, so he had to push Mears as far as he can so he can clear the middle lane. Now Mears looking for the lead. In case Mears has led the most laps so far. Next time we'll wait the final lap until the caution is thrown. Kerr pushing out all alone on that bottom lane. Kenseth trying to... Oh, Stewart!
Oh, Stewart to the wall! Logano's in it too, and they turn back out onto the field. Hamlin's in it, Johnson's in it, Carl Edwards.
Joey Logano.
Piled up on the back straightaway.
Jimmy Johnson will... Oh, my God. Once again, Jimmy Johnson will crash onto the Sprint Unlimited. Let's get back up there with your front pack. Jay McMurray and Mears side by side. McMurray going to lead the lap here. Lead us to the caution. 3 cars pretty much out. 4 cars, actually. Tony Stewart.
I think it was 5, because Logano was in it too. Logano, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnston,
Tony Stewart.
Denny Hamlin.
No, I don't think Hamlin was involved. He was in the back, so he could have.
No, he hit. Look at the nose on that car.
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice that. Hopefully they can get it repaired. So already we didn't even make it to the first caution, and we already have a yellow. Joe Logano leaking some fluid. Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson still out there. Tony Stewart, I believe, is his first DNF. Let's look and see what happened to them there. Let's look and see here. Logano squeezing Tony Stewart. I guess the spotter's saying you're 3 wide, and...
Yeah, it seems like the Biffle on his inside was coming up, and... Oh, Harvick got a piece of that there.
Oh, Hamlin did. But
yeah. It looked to me like Greg Biffle was just kind of sliding up a little bit on the bottom. Maybe didn't know that he was bottom of 3. Maybe didn't quite think he was underneath Logano enough for Joey to kind of go up the hill. But clearly Joey thought he needed to be a little bit higher, and he just ended up getting into the door there of Tony Stewart. And it just came up a little bit.
Let's actually go on board with the 16 of Biffle here. Joey Logano up behind Greg Biffle. See them boring each other.
Yeah, you can see here, Biffle trying to follow Newman up the inside, but he just doesn't turn down enough. And then that leads Logano to go up into Tony Stewart. I think Joey just kind of ran out of room there. Stewart could have maybe gone a little bit higher, and Biffle could have gone lower, and Joey just kind of got sandwiched, and there really wasn't anywhere for him to go. As you see, I think he took his frustration out there on the 48.
I think Johnson backed up, but then again, Logano should have just turned right.
Yeah, Joey obviously not happy about that one.
Yeah, looking at Hamlin, he has slight damage. I hope it's not race ending, though, or going to hold him back from staying with the leaders here. Jay McMurray and Casey Mears, already an alliance is being formed between these two, and these two are 1 and 2. Once again, as you can see there on the interval, Jimmy Johnson completely out Tony Stewart, Logano as well. Denny Hamlin went down on pit road and actually repaired the damage. You can see left side is not curved in, or the nose, but as you can see with Carl Edwards, his hood is completely gone.
Yeah, that 19 cars, I mean, only thing I can think of is they're trying to run a bit of test. Before we get going green, something I did want to mention here as the field doubles up. Talked about earlier with Jay McMurray on the temperatures on that number 1 machine. Not only are these guys trying to push it, see what kind of temperatures they can get for the 500, they expected the weather tonight to be a lot cooler, but the front didn't quite move out as fast as they were expecting, and a lot of teams set up for a cooler race, cooler afternoon. But with the ambient temperature being significantly higher than they expected, these guys have yet to have the opportunity to come down pit road and take some of that tape off. So they're going to be struggling with those engine temps a little bit longer.
Here we go, heading into the restart zone. Green flag is back out. Casey Mears gets the jump. I think he's going to jump in front of the one with that alliance we were talking about. What a restart for that 13.
Yeah, look at that, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch trying to squeeze up in front of Almirola. Can't quite do it.
He's clear,
is he gonna? I think he did. I think he is gonna. Yep, there he goes. He's trying to follow McMurray up to the outside lane.
McMurray's going to make a move on the 13. Who's Kurt going to go with? Looks like the one.
Oh man, Casey Kane almost into the back of Allmendinger there.
Kurt Busch looking almost 3 wide on the backstretch. Denny Hamlin and Carlo was actually out of the draft. I thought Hamlin repaired everything. I guess he didn't. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, they probably pushed the hood down, but something clearly is
maybe it's the engine
under the hood of that 11 car. I mean, he hit hard. There must have been some sort of suspension damage to that car. As you know, here comes Kurt Busch with a huge shot from Casey Kane.
5 just faked him out and took the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think Kane gave Kurt a shot coming off that corner, got him going, but then Kurt kind of drifted up, and Kane decided he would take that move to the inside.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. now in the bottom lane. Look how fast he is going. Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, Clint Boyer as well. Also forgot to mention Michael Walsh of Racing is gone, and Clint Boyer is going to have to sacrifice a year of his career on H. Scott Motorsports. But he's actually not doing that too bad right now. He's holding speed on super speedways. Greg Biffle and Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2 red cars in the bottom lane.
And they're going to have Brad Keselowski to help him. You know, Greg Biffle really couldn't ask for 2 better super speedway pushers. As now we see Truex jumping in line with him. Remember, Harvick got some damage from that wreck. I didn't think it was all that significant, but something might have gotten bent out on the side of that 4 car. It might be acting as a bit of a parachute for him.
Kurt's looking 3 wide. You saw there with the earlier incident that ended Logano's race. One of the drivers poked 3 wide and it ended up squeezing him into the wall. I think that's going to be a recurring theme tonight. You saw
McMurray.
He's trying to side draft the 41.
Pulling down, side drafting. I thought Mears might try to shoot the outside. It's going to work. Now he's trying to scoot it to the outside of Kane.
He's going to
make it work. No, not quite. Kurt got to his quarter panel and dragged him back.
I'm actually shocked the side draft is this strong with this thing. You can see McMurray getting side draft by the 41, but the push from the 13. He's to the outside of the 5. I think he's there. He's there.
Oh, he's to the outside. Trying to get there.
What a dude.
I think Harvick's about to lose the draft.
Oh, no, he's out of the draft. There's no question. The 13 is shoving that 1 car out in front. That's an alliance we have to keep an eye on for the 500. 10 to go in the sprint. Unlimited soon to be 9. Kevin Harvick pretty much out of the draft. That leaves us with only 19 cars going for the win. Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards pretty much out of this thing. There's only 3 cars on the bottom. I'm actually shocked nobody else is jumping down there. Truex tried to get that bottom lane rolling, but he was so far back he didn't even get an air push from somebody behind him. Carl looking 3 wide, trying to get some air to the nose. Ugh. Anything you'd like to add here with 17 of 25 completed?
This is crunch time. It's starting to get crazy. We've seen alliances up to this point, but you know, as the laps click by, those are going to start to kind of go away as time goes on.
Oh, here they come.
13 still together. Casey Kane trying to slide up. Oh man, I think they might have made contact. He was able to pull back down low, but that's going to cut the momentum off from the inside as now McMurray's going to pull ahead entering turn 3.
Casey Kane squeezing him again. Kerr looking 3. Oh, no. Kane.
Oh, Kane's into the door. They make contact. They're still making contact, but they're going to hold on. 4 wide down the front straightaway.
Kurt Busch is backing out of it. He does not want to do anything with that. It's not helping with the fact that Biffle Jr. and Keselowski are pinching them for that side draft, trying to get some momentum, and here they are, going for the lead.
Oh, man, Casey Kane is all over the door of Jamie McMurray. He's on him again. Pinching him up the hill. They hang on to it.
He did.
But, you know, Casey Kane keeps side drafting so
Larson
hard.
Is down there
It's allowing the the bottom lane to kind of pull up to him.
Oh, 4 wide.
Oh, it's Kyle Larson. He's looking 4 wide.
They are squeezed like crazy. 4 wide again. They're not making up a 4. And up the my, that's a big one.
Out into the wall. McMurray around. Larson's in it. Patrick's in it. Hard hit to the inside wall for Keselowski. Junior underneath the 42. Boyer's in it.
There it is. Carl
Edwards through pit road.
Casey Kane involved. AJ Allmendinger. Casey Mears, Kurt Busch with damage.
That's everybody.
That was the big one. Holy smokes! What a wait.
Brad Keselowski does the Michael Jackson off the racetrack.
I think he's a little upset, folks. He just parked in front of Danica Patrick, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer now leaving his pit box. Wait, did Boyer? Wait. How did Junior fix all that damage?
I don't know. Let's go back and take a look at that.
Before we go back, I actually forgot. Remember, you weren't there, Pam, but at Pocono, the first race, Josh Wise completely killed himself in the tiebreaker and fixed all the damage. I think there's a glitch with his game. I forgot to mention that. So, Casey Kane going to be pitting. We might be close to a green-white checkered. I hope not. But let's look and see what happened there.
All right, so I think let's get a little bit of let's take a look here. So I think the five got turned by the one of McMurray because McMurray got hit by somebody on his inside. But so while Biffle and Kane were kind of making contact on exit, somebody got into the back of McMurray, and I think that's what really started it because when Kane got turned back right across the track, that's what blocked everybody's path to avoid
that thing.
Biffle's giving Junior room. Junior's peeking. And there you go. You can see Biffle up into the door of the 41. They kind of come together. And that's going to send Kurt up the hill into McMurray. Now, Biffle hits Kane. I think they save it, but then McMurray gets turned down into Kane.
Oh.
And then when the 13 comes back down the racetrack, he hits Patrick. And that's kind of going to send guys down the track further. We saw Kane hit the wall hard. And then Kane's going to come back down and get clipped by the 16. Then Larson's going to drive into his teammate. Nowhere to go. Patrick's going to get turned by Keselowski. And then look at this. Boyer's going to get hit by Larson. Man, I'm telling you, if they hadn't hit Junior, I think that the contact to the inside wall would have been even worse.
Larson gassed into them.
Well, Larson wasn't sideways. He wasn't losing speed as quickly as they were.
Yeah.
He gets turned and hits Keselowski, and then hard hit for Patrick, but Keselowski hit hard.
Look at Larson Jr. right there. Just what a hit.
Drives into his door and then drives underneath.
Now, he goes through him. Look. You can literally see him go straight through Larson's car because of pit road. He turned into a ghost. Now, I think Junior's just playing with the imagination. I think Boyer did the same thing here.
Yeah, Boyer does.
Yeah.
Any chance we could take another look at that? I want to see, because there was a second wreck that occurred once Biffle got turned, and that really blocked the track, and I didn't quite get to see how that went down. All right, you can see there, Biffle gets turned by when Kurt comes back down, and that cleaned him out. But you see, Kurt kind of gets away scot-free.
Biffle saved it.
41 was able to get around. I think Newman hit the wall.
Yeah, Newman hit the wall and put himself in there just to avoid that. So, that's the big one in the Sprint Unlimited. What happened to these guys?
I think we should do a couple onboards. All right, you can see here, he just can't really see much. He's underneath Junior almost.
Whoa!
Yeah, just kind of, he gets body slammed by the 10. Just keeps getting hit. Eventually, in the inside wall, sees Larson go almost upside down.
Yeah, he's trying to.
The 16's going to kind of come up, and then
he saved it.
He gets away. He saves it, and then they all crash behind him.
What a hit!
He's going to get turned by Kurt right here. Hits that one hard, and gets hit by Larson.
Still saving it. Larson, see them flip in the background. Murray gets it back rolling as here comes Harvick. Harvick gets around scot-free, no issues for him. Anyways, a lot of drivers out of the race. Some drivers fix all their damage immediately. A late race restart here for the Sprint Unlimited. Kurt Busch and Casey Mears, I believe they stayed out, although I think we're going to have another pace lap, so I don't know. They have some damage, and as you stated, with Danny Hamlin, it looked like he repaired the damage, but obviously something was wrong with the engine, so I think Kurt and Mears. And another thing, there's not that many cars left, so they could pit and get away with it. As you saw, Casey Mears going from 21st to 1st in 4 laps.
Yeah, they could try, but it's gonna have to. They're gonna have to hope it's not a green-white checker.
And just go all out. Yeah, you have to go all out. We'll be right back here at Daytona.
3 laps to go in the Sprint Unlimited.
16 remaining.
Yeah, the 41, the 13, a couple drivers came down pit road. Matt Kenseth, Biffle, Harvick, I think Boyer, Patrick,
Junior
this is
on
gonna
upstate
leave.
now.
Look at this front row. We're going to have AJ Allmendinger and Eric Almirola up front. And then the pole sitter, the defending champion Kyle Busch. And then look at that. Daytona 500 champion Paul Menard
And
sitting in 5th place.
He won season 2.
Truex. Yeah, Stenhouse here as well. Truex with the new team is there. Then we got RCR teammates. Newman and Austin Dillon.
And then you have the driver that should have won the championship, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And then Clint Boyer, and then the wreckage.
Well, who's your pick with 3 laps to go? And hopefully pretty much. Actually, no, who's your pick?
Well, I think it's safe to say that Kyle Busch, he might not have the best luck on these super speedways, but he's the defending champion for a reason. I think he's in a great spot, but another defending champion right behind him, Paul Menard. He's got some RCR teammates to work with. Don't rule out that 27.
Well, my pick is actually Rocket Man Ryan Newman. He's actually taken over Harvick's throne of being the king in the desert. Let's see if he can start off the season with winning the Sprint Unlimited and see how it plays out for him. Pace car getting ready to dive onto pit road. I see Kurt Busch apparently did not get all the damage repaired. That left side is still a little crinkled. Hopefully it does not hurt his chances to win the race with only 16 cars left in the race. And here we go. AJ Allmendinger leading us to the green flag with 3 to go. Here we go. Green flag. Almirola gets the jump.
This is going to be the most aggressive racing we've seen all night. The leaders got out to a big jump. Whichever one, the 18 or 17 gets a run. There it is. Busch gets a run, and he's going to have help from Menard on the inside lane.
Looks like everybody up here is up to speed. Kenza trying to get up there. Paul Menard making moves. Ripple trying to get around Casey Mears. He's not
Look at Junior making moves to the top 5.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. up behind Paul Menard, looking to take a 3 on the bottom. Truex coming aside. There he goes, Newman. Oh my God. Dale Earnhardt Jr. arm rolls off pace, losing so much momentum. Kyle Busch and Paul Menard 1-2. He goes Menard.
Be 2 laps to go this time at the start-finish line.
Here comes Junior to block the Newman. He's going to push the 27 out front. 2 to go.
Huge shot from Dale Jr. to push Menard out front once again at Daytona. Now he's got to block 2 lanes. They're going to be coming up with a pretty big run as we see Truex going 3 wide on the inside of Newman. There goes Junior.
Newman going to side draft the crap out of Eric Almirola and trying to get up to Junior's back bumper. Here goes Kyle Busch to the bottom. Look at 3 wide.
Huge block. He's going all the way to the inside. Look at Newman side drafting Kyle Busch back.
He's holding him back. There's Junior and Paul Menard side by side. I think Kyle Busch's chance is over. They're almost
going wide. Almost. I thought Newman was going to send it. Junior's going to clear Menard, though.
He's going to clear
Kyle Busch has no help.
He has literally no help. Kansas cannot get any momentum. Try to help him now. White flag for the 88. Oh, boy.
Dale Jr. trying to hold off RCR teammates Ryan Newman and Paul Menard. Menard looks like it's clear at the bottom lane. Will he make a move on Dale Jr.? He's got help from Almirola.
He has to make sure it's timed perfectly. He has to make sure Almirola's right behind him. He's looking. Everybody's going to keep pushing him. Now he's going to the inside. What did Almirola do? Almirola's not going to go with him.
He hangs him out to dry. No help from Menard.
Here comes Stenhouse. I think they might have solidified it. Paul Menard and Almirola started definitely like crazy. Ryan Newman's trying to make a run to help him. They're almost doing each other for 2nd place. But here he comes. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Sprint Unlimited.
Yeah, I don't take the most of the 500. We really want.
He always finds a way to get to the front of these super speedways. What a great job by Dale Jr. there.
What a race. Paul Menard, I think if it was for Almirola ditching him and side drafting him like crazy, then Paul Menard would have had it. But man, that was some aggressive racing for the win there. 11 cars under a blanket, 12th to 16th, pretty much out of. How did Mears and Patrick end up 15 seconds behind? She just crossed the line. That's how much damage they had. Unbelievable. What a race there. You gotta love Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr., a depressing season, and starts off this one with a Sprint Unlimited. Oh boy, you gotta keep an eye on that 88. Well, everybody heading on to pit road. Any drivers you gotta give a shout out other than Dale Earnhardt Jr., of course?
Well, RCR teammates Paul Menard and Newman came up short, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Menard end up a Daytona 500 champ once again after a performance like tonight. Great job by that 27 team.
Ryan Newman as well. I mean, he tried helping out Paul Menard, but he was also getting side drafted like crazy. I mean, I have never seen AI pinch each other that hard for side draft. Side draft really isn't even a thing for the super speedway cars on NR, but that race just proved there is side draft if you're close enough. Greg Biffle, Casey Mears, Danica Patrick, Ricky Sanders Jr., and Eric Amarola there's on the back stretch. But man, what a race at Daytona. I want to thank Pem Craft for being in the booth once again. It's great to start off the season with you. Anyways, folks, Dale Earnhardt Jr. once again wins another race at Daytona. We'll see you guys for Thursday.